Welcome to the deep dive, everyone. So, today we are taking on basically a universal human blind spot.
Oh, yeah. A big one.
Right. It's that thing where we hold on to things we know we really should let go of. Like throwing good money after bad.
Exactly. And, we're going to look at why we do it and maybe how to actually rewire our brains to finally move forward.
Which is so needed. I mean, our mission today is really to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah.
And to do that, we have some amazing sources we're pulling from excerpts of the Human Diagnostic.
Specifically, episode 29, right? The one who can't let go.
Yes, exactly. The one who can't let go. And we're pairing that with some foundational behavioral economics research, specifically the work of Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky.
Which is, it's just such a great combination. You've got this very high-level, Nobel Prize-winning theory, but grounded in a super messy real-world scenario.
Right. Very messy. So let me just paint the picture for you, the listener. We've got this guy, Dave Hartzell.
The HVAC technician.
Right. Master HVAC tech, based in Kingfisher, Oklahoma. 45 years in the trade. So, he knows his stuff.
Oh, absolutely. He's seen it all.
Yeah. So Dave walks up to this driveway, takes one look at this rusted 23-year-old air conditioner, and he instantly knows it's mathematically dead.
He doesn't even need his tools.
Exactly.
Yes.
But, he runs the diagnostics anyway, just to be sure. He turns to the homeowner, tells him the unit is dead, and the homeowner just hits him with this single, totally irrational sentence that just derails the whole conversation.
And to really understand why that happens, the trap we all fall into, we have to look at the physical reality Dave is dealing with versus the psychological reality of his customer.
Yeah, so let's get into those details. The unit is a vintage 2001 install.
Ancient in AC years.
Right. So Dave sees a seized compressor pulling an amp draw way outside his rating. Oil stain lines, a shot capacitor.
Which is never good.
No. And it's just substandard panel work, like a below-spec contactor from a previous repair. So Dave is just straight with him. It's dead. You need to replace it.
And the customer's reaction.
He just gets real quiet, and then he says, I put $1,200 into that unit 3 years ago.
Wow. There it is.
Right. But, wait, let me push back on Dave a little bit here. $1,200 is a massive amount of money to just write off.
Oh, for sure. It hurts.
Shouldn't a good technician, try to salvage that investment for the guy?
Well, functionally, no. The technical case for replacement is absolutely airtight here. There's just no rational repair path for a seized compressor on a 23-year-old unit.
Because it's too far gone.
Yeah. That $1,200 isn't a working part of the machine anymore. In the customer's mind, sure, it's like a down payment on the future. It's a vote for the system.
Oh, I see.
Right. But physically, replacing the unit means admitting that down payment is just gone. And that is a really hard pill to swallow.
So to understand why the customer is totally ignoring the math, because the math is undeniable, we kind of have to look under the hood of the human brain, right?
Exactly. And this is where Kahneman and Tversky come in. Their research on the sunk cost fallacy and loss aversion.
Loss aversion, yeah. The idea that losing something hurts more than gaining something feels good.
Right. The pain of losing something is actually roughly twice as powerful as the pleasure of gaining something of the exact same value.
Why is this powerful?
Yeah. So because of that asymmetry, a loss you've already taken becomes this claim on your future decisions.
Oh, just to make sure the loss isn't quote unquote wasted.
Exactly. You keep investing just to validate the initial loss.
So wait, this is exactly like forcing yourself to finish, a terrible 800-page book just because you suffered through the first 5 chapters.
Yes. That is the perfect analogy.
But does this mean we're just, fundamentally stupid when it comes to decision-making?
No, definitely not stupid. It's just human wiring. Economists will tell you the money is gone either way. They advocate for what's called pure forward accounting.
Pure forward accounting, meaning just looking at the future.
Right. You make decisions based solely on future value. But the human brain naturally looks back. We keep score. This customer, he wants his previous investment to have meant something.
Okay, so if logic and math and, pure forward accounting can't override this emotional brain wiring, how do we actually help someone out of a sunk cost trap?
Well, that's the brilliant part. Dave figures this out because of a realization he had about his own life.
Oh, the story about his truck.
Yes, the old truck. Share that because it's so good.
Yeah, so Dave had this old truck. He drove it for 11 years, and by year 9, it had 240,000 miles on it.
Which is a lot.
Yeah. He put in 2 new engines, a new transmission. He admits he spent more in parts and labor than the truck was even worth.
And his wife calls him out on it, right?
She totally calls him out. She's like, you're throwing good money after bad. But Dave, he keeps it for another 2 years anyway.
2 more years.
Because he felt he couldn't afford to walk away after putting so much into it. But wait, I have a question about this.
Yeah, what is it?
So Dave, this ultimate HVAC expert, he fell for the exact same trap with his truck. I mean, doesn't that compromise his authority to advise this customer? Like, he's a hypocrite.
You'd think so, but actually his self-disclosure is his greatest tool here.
Really?
Yeah. By recognizing his own irrationality, Dave doesn't lecture the guy. He knows that logic doesn't fix sunk cost thinking because sunk cost thinking is deeply emotional.
Oh, right, because arguing the math just makes people defensive.
Exactly. Arguing the math is what most professionals do, and it's exactly why they fail. Dave sidesteps that completely.
Okay, so he sidesteps the math, and then he executes this really brilliant psychological pivot to shift the guy's perspective.
A timeline reframe?
Yeah. Dave asks this hypothetical question. He says, if you'd had a different unit all along, same age and condition, and you'd never put a dollar into it, would you repair or replace?
And the customer has to think about it, but without the baggage of his investment.
Right, and the customer admits, yeah, I'd replace it.
Which is the logical choice.
But then Dave asks the really crucial question. He says, so what changes about that answer just because you've invested in this one?
That is such a powerful question.
It is. And the customer finally admits the honest truth. He says, I guess I just feel like I should get something for what I put in.
Which is the loss aversion talking loud and clear. He just wants the money to mean something.
So Dave does this reframe. He says, look, that $1,200 bought you 3 more years of cooling. You got that. It's spent.
He validates the past.
Yes. But then he says, the only question now is what you want to do with the next 15 years. But, I mean, honestly, isn't saying what do you want to do with the next 15 years just a clever linguistic trick to force a sale? It sounds a little salesy.
I get why you'd say that, but if you look at the psychology, it's actually profound honesty. It's not a trick.
How so?
Well, it completely honors the customer's emotional need for that past investment to have meaning. Dave is saying, hey, it bought you 3 years. It wasn't a waste.
Ah, so it pacifies that part of the brain.
Right. But simultaneously, it forces the brain into that pure forward accounting we talked about. It makes him look at the future.
That's fascinating. So to wrap up how this specific driveway standoff actually ended, because it's not like the guy just instantly agrees.
Oh, no. Sunk cost thinking doesn't just evaporate in one conversation.
Exactly. It takes him 3 days to call Dave back.
Yeah.
It has to work through its own timeline in his head.
Which is very normal. You have to process that emotional release.
Yeah. So he calls back on Thursday and he says, let's do the new system. And the crazy part, he never mentions the $1,200 again.
Because he finally let it go. The timeline shifted.
Right. And Dave has this concluding realization that's just perfect. He says, the money's gone. Whether you walk away or keep trying, the only question is always, what makes sense from here?
What makes sense from here? I love that.
It's so applicable. So for you listening to this right now, we want to challenge you. Try to identify the 23-year-old AC units or those 11-year-old trucks in your own life.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a project at work, a bad habit, a terrible investment. We all have them.
Definitely. Look at those things and just ask yourself, what makes sense for the next 15 years?
Just try the pure forward accounting.
But before we go, I want to leave you with one final kind of provocative thought about all this. We've been talking about the sunk cost fallacy like it's a glitch, right?
Right, like a bug in our human psychology.
But what if it's not a glitch? What if it's actually an ancient evolutionary survival feature?
Oh, interesting. Like going way back.
Yeah. Consider early humans. They stubbornly refused to abandon a failing crop, or they kept pushing through some grueling migration.
Because if they gave up, they died.
Exactly. Could the exact same irrational stubbornness that makes us hold on to a broken air conditioner be the very trait that kept our ancestors alive?
Wow. When the quote-unquote rational choice was just to give up and die.
Right. So think about where your own stubbornness is secretly serving you. Maybe it's keeping you going when things get hard. But also, think about where it's just sinking you.
Where it's just an old AC unit.
Exactly. Figure out which one it is, and then ask yourself, what makes sense from here?